Hey BookTube, how's it going? Um, I am going to do a video today on, well, here's the deal. Like, you guys know that I really, really like my Batman, and I get really excited whenever a new Bat book comes out, and I've been very lucky to be a Batman fan right now because so many of the books have been, for the most part, really good. Um, and one of my, I guess you could call it, little secrets, like my guilty pleasure in the Batman universe, is Red Hood. Um, Jason Todd. He was the second Robin, um, and now he is Red Hood from Red Hood and the Outlaws. Um, and today we're going to be talking about Red Hood and the Outlaws number 25. Now, when I do these videos, they don't get a lot of views. So, um, this video is more for me than anything else, because a lot of times when I do videos on certain things, as I do the video and I'm constantly talking through it, like, I could come to terms with things better. So yesterday I read Red Hood and the Outlaws 25, and I found myself in a kerfluffle. Okay. um and the kerfluffle was, I read one of the best Red Hood issues ever, and then got thrown into a steaming pile of hot trash, and then got thrown into like the fucking Twilight Zone. Okay. Um, and I don't know how I feel. Like, it was amazing, but I'm so scared about the future. So, let's go over this. Um, I'm going back to putting pictures up so you guys can see. First off, this cover is amazing. And if you are going to be reading Red Hood and the Outlaws 25 and you haven't done so yet, there will be spoilers. Um, I'm going to try to summarize a bit so you understand what's going on here. Maybe I should do the first bit first. I'll do the first bit first. Okay. So, the reason why I have a fondness for Jason Todd. Okay. So, when I was a kid, the Dick Grayson Robin, he had already gone off to college. That happened in like the early 70s. He would sometimes come in and out of Batman, sometimes longer periods than others or whatnot. But then, like, early 80s, Batman was getting the tires of the Batmobile ripped off by this little kid. And depending on when you came into the story, if it was pre Crisis on Infinite Earths or after, Jason's origin story was different. I post Crisis is better, I think. But anyway, so long story short, Batman trains him to become the new Robin, and he's kind of a mouthy street kid kind of thing. And the thing that was funny, like looking back now, he had an attitude that was very similar to Damien's attitude when Damien came in as Robin. But I feel like the um, I don't know the word I'm looking for. The reason behind it made more sense for Damien than it did for Jason, but I don't really think that's the case. But it seems like that would be the case. So anyway, as a kid in the '80s, um, there was this new Robin, and it was like, oh, is this a good thing? Like now, like I feel like I could be like fighting crime alongside Batman. Doodle 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 doo. Like that's the thought DC wanted kids to have. Okay, now Jason Todd was kind of a prick, and so a lot of people didn't like him. And then I still don't understand exactly why this happened. Maybe it was just to get controversy around it. DC decided to do this thing where if everyone hates Jason Todd so much, we're going to have a phone number and you could vote to see if he lives or dies. Okay? This was a legitimate thing that DC did. So me and all my friends were like, yeah, F that guy. And we thought it would be funny as hell if we voted someone to death. Okay? Now, flash forward a little bit. All of a sudden, Jason Todd dies. Okay? And this guy, who I thought was such a prick and was not that excited about, all of a sudden died, and I felt like the blood was on my hands. And if you haven't read Death in the Family, it's like a 4-issue. They have the trade paperback of it, obviously. But Joker kills Robin, Jason Todd. And it is fucking heartbreaking. And I did that. That was how I felt about it. I made that happen. Me and my dumb friends and a bunch of other people across the country, okay? So, because of that, I've always felt really guilty about Jason Todd. Then, like, I'm trying to remember exactly when it was. It was after the death of Superman, but before. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So he comes back, okay? And there was a shitty way he came back. Steve, don't get mad at me for saying this. Where Superboy Prime like punched something, and I never liked that. But the current continuity, I guess, way that Jason Todd came back is that Ra's al Ghul and Talia al Ghul put him in the Lazarus pit, and that's how Ra's al Ghul keeps coming back to life or living forever, or Raish, depending on who you are. So anyway, and when he came back, he was really mad at Batman, blah, 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 blah. He wanted to kill Batman. So anyway, he didn't want to kill Batman, but you know what I'm saying. So when he came back, he donned the mask of Red Hood. Now, Red Hood is supposedly where the Joker came from. He was a part of the Red Hood gang. And if you read The Killing Joke, he was at least there one night as one of the Red Hood guys. So that is how this whole thing happens. And in Under the Hood, I think is what the story is called. Like, it's Jason Todd's like fighting Batman or whatever. And it was like, I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but like the exchange between Jason Todd and Batman was so good, like verbally, like Jason's motivations. And it was more like Like, I don't care that you didn't kill Joker. I just care that, like, I wasn't enough for you to avenge, kind of thing. It was just, like, heartbreaking. Well, anyway, when he came back, I felt, like, a little vindicated. I'm like, fuck yes, okay. Whew, I don't need to feel like I've murdered a child all this time. And then the New 52 happened. Okay? Now, in the New 52, they did this thing called Red Hood and the Outlaws. Okay? Now, the first Red Hood team was Red Hood, Arsenal, or Roy Harper, who used to run around with Green Arrow but had like an addiction problem and all this other shit, and Starfire. Now, I'll probably be putting pictures up, but like, as you can see, Starfire is not the Starfire from the Teen Titans cartoon that you might remember her from. She is very much into things, and okay. This run wasn't great, and Scott Lobdell did it for a while and then took a break and then came back to it, and it, like, there was too much Starfire and too much, like, what goes on in space for, I don't know, Red Hood or Arsenal to be worth a damn to me. Well, then Starfire leaves, and then they do like another like year-long run that was just Red Hood and Arsenal. And this whole time I'm like, well, just give Red Hood his own fucking book. Like, just put him in Gotham, give him his fucking book, blah 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 blah. So they end up not doing that. And then Rebirth happens. Okay? Now Rebirth happened in 2016. And the new Outlaw team is really good, and I'm really into it. So you have Jason Todd Red Hood, you have Bizarro Superman, and you have Artemis. Now, Bizarro, like, this whole thing, they called it like the Dark Trinity, because, like, if you know Trinity, Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, now you have Red Hood, who's the Dark Batman, and Bizarro, the Dark Superman, and Artemis, who is Amazon like Wonder Woman, but has been shunned by her people, kind of thing. So the group dynamic is amazing, and the storyline with Bizarro, between, honestly, like, of course, like, there's like this will they or won't they between Red Hood and Artemis, but more importantly is the friendship between Bizarro and Red Hood, and it has just been so good. And then Bizarro got really smart, okay, and he built this invisible fortress for them above Gotham, and that floats above Gotham, and then he built these like doors to other dimensions, and it's just been crazy. And then Bizarro's mind started going back to Bizarro, which is like so about 2 issues ago, this is a really long-winded thing, I'm really sorry, just put this in 2 speed and I'm sure it'll be fine, and you'll get through it pretty quick. Red Hood shoots Penguin in the face on TV. So everyone in Gotham sees it, and that's Red Hood breaking Batman's only rule, that you don't kill anybody. And so Batman's like, that's it, I gotta go catch him. So now Batman's going to be coming for Red Hood. The cops are after Red Hood for shooting Cobblepot Penguin. But the thing is, when he shot him, like, there was like, you saw like little like news clips like, oh, Penguin's in critical condition, or whatever. So he's not gonna die. But the other plus here is I think if Penguin doesn't die, which he probably won't, this will give Jason Todd like a very upset villain that will be up his ass for the rest of time. So that's really cool. So anyway, on with the show. So this issue 25, it's an exercise anniversary issue, which is funny because the annual I think is next month. So it's like, okay, whatever. But it's the 25th one, so let's, whatever. Okay, so great cover. My rules, my city, my vengeance. And like his mask is all messed. It's just a great action packed cover. Okay. Um, and then we go into some time ago. He's dressed up as Robin. He's drowning. And he sees the Batmobile upside down, so they've obviously crashed. And he floats down there to rescue Batman. Okay, and Batman's like, "Look, if you ever want to leave, it's gonna be you wanting to leave, because like you're the shit, and I'm not gonna make you go." So the cops are all looking, and so now it's present day. The cops are all looking for Red Hood, and he's invisible because of Bizarro's technology. Well, also when Bizarro got like dumb again, the floating fortress he made had like a self-destruct thing where if like shit got fucked up, like it would just self-destruct and like crash or whatever. So because you always want to put like some sort of self-destruct mechanism into something you build. So because that's getting all fucked up, Red Hood's invisibility cloak stops, and so now he's here about to get shot by a bunch of cops. Great. I mean, this is an amazing opening. And then the cops stop. The cops aren't going to shoot him right now because there's a giant fucking building falling out of the sky heading for them. Okay, so super drama, and then you have this awesome splash of Bizarro and Artemis trying to like stop the ship from like collapsing in on itself, and so the building keeps like flashing in and out of invisibility. Jason runs up to the top of the building. He's like, I really hope the building's there. Please, please, please be there. And he fucking jumps off a building. Okay. And then as he's jumping off the building, oh, look at this. It's so amazing. So, well, actually, I'm going to say this. He's probably not trying to like shoot him to kill him, but God, what an awful shot Jason is. He's like 5 feet from him. But look at how amazing that is. And then this is what I like the best. Like down here, you have, because this is a Red Hood book, most of the kind of point of view is from Red Hood. So when we see Batman, like he's not seeing Batman as his buddy. He's seeing him as the way like the villains see him when Batman's beating the shit out of him. He's all fucking dark, mysterious, awesome. He's not fucking sitting on a couch having a chat. He's not in the back seat of a limo going on a bachelor party. He's not eating a sandwich. There are certain things that I think Bruce Wayne should take care of, and there's certain things that Batman should take care of. And I get really annoyed when like writers are like, oh, this is gonna be like so like hip, like so different. Like Batman's gonna be like eating a sandwich. Like that's so different. It's like, no, okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Bad writers. Okay. So we get this. Oh my God, look at that shot of the backhand. Okay, so Batman's like just destroyed the Red Hood mask and he's pissed off about the shooting. Jason starts kind of giving him some smack and all this stuff. Bizarro flies down to get Jason, so he like kind of saves the day here because Artemis told Bizarro to find him. So they get back. They're on the ship or the base. It's still crashing. Bizarro finally has an idea. And basically, what he does is he somehow pulls the ship into one of these doors into a different dimension. Okay. Now, while this is happening, um, Jason's going to go rescue Bizarro. And Artemis, for some reason, is like, no, I'll do it. And then they finally kiss. And, because you always have time to kiss when 12,000 people are about to be smashed. So that was like the big thing. So, of course, because they kissed, now she kicks him off the ship. He lands on top of the building again. And the ship implodes, and Jason's all upset. But he can't be upset for long because Batman comes back to beat the shit out of him again. And then there's this awesome shot of him dragging Jason by his fucking mask across the thing. But wait, what's that? Who's coming to save the day? Boom. Arsenal. Why? Oh, and I forgot to say Batman ripped the bat off his chest. Batman's been ripping the bat off of a lot of people's chests lately, just so you know. And what's going on in Detective Comics with Karma. We'll talk about that at another video, because this is going really long. So, Arsenal's back, okay? Why? Why is he back? Okay, I guess we'll know in another issue. B, out of all the times he could have shown up, how is this the time he shows up? I mean, I know it's like, this is how you like build a story or whatever, but for fuck's sake, I mean, like, yeah, it's just kind of crazy here, okay? So yeah, be here in 3 weeks as Red Hood and Arsenal write again, and Red Hood and the Outlaws annual #2. Okay, whatever. So then, okay, we go into this like old school, and to be honest, I almost like this art better. Look how freaking badass Red Hood looks right there. I love it. Okay, so we go into like this old comic book looking thing, okay? And like the Joker's fucking shit up, and so Jason fucking shoots Joker and blows him in half. Blows him in half, okay? 2 pieces. And then at the end, like, Bizarro helps Superman up, and Artemis helps Wonder Woman up. Creeper's riding the dinosaur, Starflyer's flying because she's got nothing to do, and Arsenal's taking a picture of the Creeper on top of a dinosaur. But the big thing here is Jason and Batman are shaking hands, and Batman's like, "Thank you, son," and he's like, "No problem, Dad. Sorry about your golden rule." And then Batman says, "Don't give it another thought. The world has enough heroes. Sometimes it takes an outlaw." And then you could see there's a giant thumb on the panel, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you turn the page, and it turns out it's a little old lady reading a comic book. Now, I think this little old lady is the chick who ran the orphanage kind of thing that Jason was at for a bit. And she was the one that gave him the letters that his dad wrote and all this other shit. Okay, so we find out now that not only is she Jason's grandma, but Jason's dad, because I believe Willis is his dad. I could be wrong. I have to go back and read it. I got a little confused right here. But if you read a couple issues back, like Artemis was supposed to take out Jason's dad, like take him out before the Outlaws happened and all that other stuff. But she doesn't know that that's Jason's dad, I don't think, and Jason doesn't know that that happened. So that might be something that comes up later. Anyway, so she's like, "Can you take me with you? Like, it's really, like, I don't like it here." And he's like, "No, because I'm not even really here. I just wanted to make sure you're okay." And she's like, "I'll be fine. I've grown accustomed to the dark." And she's living in a house in a bottle in some weird dark place. What the fuck is this? Like, what's happening right now? Like, I like that it left me with like some crazy Twilight Zone shit, but it's like what just happened? Like in this crazy weird Twilight Zone dimension, they get great comic books that are really weird. So that's weird. But I don't understand. Okay? Then, okay, you think that would be the end of it. But no. I get this fucking shit. How to redesign a character. Artist Pete Woods reveals the process of redefining the look of Red Hood. Okay, so in order for me to believe this shit, I have to go out on a limb and go, oh, Red Hood only had one costume that he wears all the time and probably doesn't wash, so he probably smells god awful, and he only had one helmet. So now that Batman bashed his helmet and ripped his bat off his chest, he's like, well, I guess I gotta get a new outfit now. So let's see here real quick. Okay. So let's see this. Hi, I'm Pete Woods, artist of Red Hood and the Outlaws. I've done a lot of character designs over the years. Usually, I take about 2 rounds, but this was a challenge. No shit, because you took a really cool costume and you made it stupid. So let's see here. Number one, under the literal hood. Scott Lobdell, writer of Red Hood and the Outlaws, wanted to be much more in your face. So we dropped the helmet completely. We need to see Jason Todd's face. The Hood gave us the opportunity to keep him as Red Hood, since it's his name, and get more unmasked emotion out of Jason. Okay, so let's look at number one here on the picture. Okay, he still looks like he's wearing a mask. And now he has this weird hood over his head. So if someone comes from the side, he's fucked. Like, he has no peripheral vision now. At all. None. Okay? Now, I'll put up a picture now of what he looks like with the hood down. And this is what he looks like with the hood down. Now, I fear that this is how he's going to look most of the time. Like, he'll have the hood down. Like, he'll have the hood up when he's, like, going to, like infiltrate someplace, but then when shit gets real, he's gonna pull the hood down and get crazy. I hate this. I really do. Face to face. Couple of silver spoons. No, I'm just kidding. We only had an impression of the face mask before, so I wanted to make sure that it was clear that he still has his domino mask on. But we've also got a hockey mask that he can pull off when he needs to. Okay, now my biggest. I didn't read this before, so this is like hot take shit right here. When I first saw this, I thought he looked like a fucking like wannabe Casey Jones from Ninja Turtles. But now that I know that this is actually supposed to be a hockey mask under here, I'm. Oh my god, I'm so terrified right now. Okay. The iron versus katana. The tire iron, the tire iron was a fun reference to the first time he met Batman, but he needs something more to the point than a tire iron. Something that actually is more threatening than a guy standing across the room with a tire iron. Was it a A tire iron? Because that looks like a fucking crowbar. That looks like a crowbar. Um, so anyway, if I'm wrong about a crowbar and a tire iron being the same thing, let me know down below. But I've had to change tires before, and my crowbars don't have like the little lug nut thing. So I guess he doesn't have guns anymore. He's going katana because, whatever. Okay, so number 4, sleek and stealthy. The vest gives him an edgy look, and we gave him a scabbard on the back to carry his weapons. It just looks cool. Just a simple black and red design. You can tell who it is. You know by the shape and the hood. You know you're looking at Red Hood. What about that is stealthy? Okay, red is a very eye-catching color, all right? I don't think there's anything stealthy about the color red. Combine and contrast. Number 5. I put stripes on his pants because he's going to be spending a lot of time in the dark, in the shadows. It would help define the shape if we got a flash of red in the darkness. We added the red on the boots and the red on the pants to give us that opportunity. Okay, and just like I said before, red is a very alerting color. So if we could see it, the bad guys can see it. But I understand why they are doing it. The new logo. Number 6. The night before these were due, I think it was 2 in the morning. I was drawing the hoodie with the mask under it, and I thought, oh, that's kind of graphic. So I poked around with it. We'd been working on this for 2 weeks, and in 2 hours I finally finished the design that looked sort of bat-like, but it also doesn't. It's the shadow of the hood over his eyes. Except in the picture up here, the hood's straight, and down here the hood is now pointed. Look for the new threads in Red Hood and the Outlaws 26 on September 12th. I don't know how I feel. And I know this is fucking petty, and I'm a grown ass man, and the last thing I should be bitching about is somebody's clothes. But, I don't know. So that's my time. Let me know what you think down below. If anyone even watches this, I love Red Hood and the Outlaws, and I actually love Red Hood. Some of the Outlaws I like more than others. So until next time, everybody.